I should just send the link to the group, like all of the film group chats, just to see who shows up. But what's going on, guys? It's Jacob, Christian, and I, and we are here to talk about some last minute Oscar whatever. You know what I mean? I don't really know what we're talking about, but we figured we'd get on before the show gets kicked off, and we are here now. And yeah, what's up, Christian? How are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Just I got my second COVID vaccination this morning, so I'll be technically fully vaccinated within 2 weeks because I know that shot takes a little bit to kind of manifest in. But other than that, I've been doing pretty good. Some Mortal Kombat. It was all right. It was all right.
It was all right.
Like, as far as like video game movies go, like, it actually wasn't bad. I mean, I felt like it was a little rushed, but I mean, I just wanted to watch it for the fight, so that's what I got.
It was terrible. The fight scenes weren't even good. Like, I literally have nothing good to say about that film other than it was made. But Jacob, how are you, buddy?
I am good. I am just excited for tonight. Been looking forward to it for 14 months now. I keep looking back at my initial predictions back last February and looking back and forth and seeing all the differences and, how different COVID affected everything. But yeah, I've just been excited. I've been excited all day. I could barely sleep last night.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. There's a lot of last second mumbo jumbo that you and I have been talking a lot about over the last couple of days. And it's just it's cut to the point where it's a very exhausting part of the award season where we have to nitpick every performance. And like one of the things that you and I talked about the most was what's crazy to me is how this whole like Chadwick versus Hopkins thing has turned into like this personal vendetta against either one of these guys. And it's like, all right, we all have our opposing opinions, which is fine. But I've said this 1,000 times, nothing against Daniel Kaluuya, but I would love if Leslie Odom Jr. won tonight, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's not taking. You can say, hey, like Jacob and I don't agree on who should win in our personal preferences, but, well, I mean, Jacob's a bad example. He's not allowed to like anything. But, but in saying that, though, like, not one time do we ever sit here and throw names at each other because, God forbid, we liked one performance more than the other. You know what I mean? Like, we told the joke about Mank on the show. We came out of the movie theater. Actually, it's like the third time it happened. The first time I think it was Lighthouse. The second time it was Uncut Gems, or vice versa.
I think Uncut Gems. I think we were both I think everyone was very silent about that and didn't really say what they wanted to say at the time. But Lighthouse definitely. Lighthouse came out completely polar opposites.
Lighthouse is still a terrible movie, but that's neither here or there. But look at that! Look at that! Look who's joining us. No introduction needed. You know what I mean? What's up, Colby?
What up?
How's it going, man? I heard I sent you a message. I was like, we're just gonna throw on some vibes and talk about the Oscars, man. Figured you'd join us.
Hell yeah! Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we were just talking about how you're allowed to like another performance without having to bash the other performance at the same time. Isn't that crazy?
Fuck out of here. What?
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
Every day.
Yeah, I don't even know, man. Anything that you're looking forward to tonight, Colby?
I'm rooting for everyone black.
All right.
I mean, hey, I ain't mad at. I mean, I was just talking about how my personal preference would be Leslie Odom Jr. winning tonight, but that's not taking away from Daniel Kaluuya because I think he was a badass too. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I just want a Leslie Odom Jr. movie as Sam Cooke, and I'll just be satisfied. I don't even need an Oscar win.
Well, hopefully he will win tonight, unless
Well, Speak Now should win. Period.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got problems with songs that are not in the movie.
Yep. Okay.
Speak Now's in the movie though.
Where is it in the movie?
It's literally the end of the movie.
Is it like
no
credits?
No. It's not the credits. He sings the song at the end of the movie.
Oh.
You should.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He
No.
sings.
I
He sings a
can't
different
comment on
song.
that.
It is the credit song.
Oh.
It
Yeah,
is the
so
credit song.
he's singing. He's singing the He's
Yeah,
singing the actual Sam Cooke song.
yeah,
again.
because he's
Oh yeah, I forgot about the kids. Yeah, I
But
don't know.
no, yeah,
It's been a while
Colby,
since I've
you,
seen the
you,
movie.
me, and Kinsey could probably have like an hour-long conversation about how songs are used in movies because we feel the same way.
It's ridiculous.
I think to be nominated for original song, the song has to be instrumental to part of the film. You know, like
Yeah,
Shallow,
it helps drive exactly Shallow.
you know, like
Or,
even
Or How Do I
Vucevic-
Live? I saw Gone and first off, I didn't realize that didn't win the Oscar that year, which I don't understand what beat it, which I really don't care. But that the way they used How Do I Live and Gone in 60 Seconds was amazing, just because it was that whole he's beating the hell out of those dudes behind the bar or whatever, whatever. But yeah, I didn't know that Diane Warren had wrote it or whatever, because that's when I realized it didn't win, because she performed like all 14 of her losses in one time.
Yeah, and it's like, even like Husavik this year, like Husavik, think of it what you want, but at least
This
like
is in the movie.
it was used. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
used as a major part of the film. And I think there's a big issue with, and I understand, the credit song culminating the entire movie, whatever, but if you're going to do that, have it in the movie somewhere, put it on the radio in the movie, put it, have them sing it, have them say it, have them reference it.
Yeah.
I feel like, when we start doing after credit songs, that's when it's like, okay, like you're nominating the song, but it's not part of the film in a way, it's part of the after film.
I mean,
And
like
so-
Fight for You does the same thing. Fight for You's not in the movie, right?
Mhm. Yeah. I think Husavik's the only one that is actually part of the movie.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing was for last year too. I can't remember what won last year.
And it's used as like a really big story beat.
What did win last year?
Let
I can't remember.
me look it up.
Who's winning
Originals.
Best Actress, Colby?
Fuck. I mean, that's such a fucking toss up, bro. I don't know.
Mhm. Who do you,
I was on
Okay.
Clubhouse.
Give
and it
us-
took up
give
the
us
most amount of
three.
time. I mean, who I want to win is Viola Davis,
Mhm.
but it's like, so Viola took SAG, Carey Mulligan took nothing except for critic stuff, right? You have Andra Day who took Golden Globe, and you have Carey Mulligan that won the BAFTA. Vanessa Kirby, she's real. I just recently watched Pieces of a Woman. She's really, really good. But when I compare that to like what Andra Day and Viola Davis are doing, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go those two.
Mhm.
And I think that people like suck at doing this because they can't distinguish like a not good movie versus a good performance. So like Andra Day's doing a lot of what Jamie Foxx did in Ray.
Mhm.
Great mimicry work, right?
Yeah, same with Zellweger and Judy too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's she's the most recent winner in regards to being in a film that's not great. She's giving a real, but like it's weird. It's such a. I have my own bias for artists playing other artists in a movie, but typically when we've seen that happen, it's because they're allowing their vocal. The vocals is not the important part to what
Mhm.
that performance is, which is surprising to me, right?
Right.
Because like when she's singing, that's not really what we're paying attention to. I'm paying attention to everything else. So like if I were to rate in regards to performance, I have Viola 1, Andra Day 2. I would have Kirby 3, Mulligan 4, and McDormand 5.
I think going back to what you said about the whole think about on the voice aspect of like people who play artists in movies. I think people put way much more into that than what they need to. I appreciate when people put in the work to sing their own things, but you look at films like Rocket Man, he sounded nothing like Elton John at all.
And I appreciate that more.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he kind of makes it his own rather than try to do an interpretation like what
Rami Malek did.
Rami Malek did, and that's the same thing as like one of my favorite performances of all time is Joaquin Phoenix in Walk the Line,
Yeah.
and he kind of does that same thing.
Yes.
He kind of gets that like Johnny Cash twang in his voice, but he doesn't try to be Johnny Cash. He tries to be himself singing Johnny Cash's songs, and I feel like once you can do that, you can really act your way into it, and I think that's what. I think more people, at least doing music type of films, need to at least put in that extra effort to try to even if it's mixed together, you know, with
Mhm.
the sound mixing, whatever, like try to do their own versions because that's not what people are coming to see. If people wanted to go to Rocket Man to see him sing exactly like Elton John, they would have just listened to Elton John, in
Yeah.
my eyes.
No, you're right, man. And that's the thing that I can appreciate from Andre Day. It's surprising. I think it was such an unfortunate story to tell if we're getting a biopic about Billie Holiday, right? It's like
Mhm.
we have no time spent to invest in this person to make her likable as one. So like I'm not garnering much empathy with this character because all I'm seeing her is just be like a pretty bad person
Mhm.
doing bad things, but she also has bad things being done to her, right?
Yeah.
So I have no investment with her, right? But performance-wise, she's very vulnerable. Knowing everything that this musical artist put into transforming into Billie Holiday, her voice affectations, her body mannerisms, smoking, the drop in weight, right? Like it's crazy. And like she really went for it. She wanted to be super vulnerable in regards to like, you know, being completely nude and like that comfortability there,
Mhm.
right? It's a lot of really, really, really good work, right? There's just something more where I feel like it was what helped the performance better for me with Viola Davis is that it was a much better written character on screen,
Mhm.
right? Viola can be able
Yeah.
to do more, right? And I think that does like, you know, that's something I can either like add or take away from your performance, the way that you're directed as a performer and the way that your character is written inside the movie.
I think I can't remember what I was reading recently, but I think it was saying, you know, if Viola Davis were to win, and of course, like, you know, I think I was just reading this on Twitter, could be completely wrong, but she would be the first Black actress to win for playing like a role that wasn't like belittled for being Black. You know, she was always in that kind of performance. She was always the
Yeah.
head of every situation, which is something you don't really see when you watch, you know, Black performances get that kind of recognition, which I think is something from Viola Davis that is, you know, really cool. You know, you never saw any moment that she was on screen where she was not in control. You know, she was always in control, always, you know, as powerful as she could be in that moment. And I think, you know, something like that is kind of something to look up to, in my opinion.
I'd agree, man. I completely agree.
Yeah, it's crazy because for me, I mean, obviously for me, I've always felt Viola was a supporting player in the film, but obviously can't call it Ma Rainey and give her a supporting performance because honestly, let's be all real, like she'd be running away with supporting and it wouldn't even be close. Like
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be handing her the trophy already. I think if it came down to her versus the pack that we have tonight, which you know we could talk about supporting actress, which I changed my mind like in the 33rd hour, and I went Maria Bakova tonight to win. I think that we're going to see some sort of surprise, and if this is the category it's going to be, I think that to me is a surprise. Like if Olivia Colman wins for The Father, that wouldn't really surprise me because I think because I don't know how the Academy is going to really react to Yoon Young Jung and her performance. It's my favorite supporting performance, obviously. You know, she's
Of
a
the
great
five,
grand-
you mean?
of the five. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. She's my
Yeah.
favorite of the five in of this category. But I mean, you know, I
think the biggest thing with Bakalova, you know, be what it may, I think she does have that kind of shock factor that if people get through Borat, and you know, that might be harder for some people to get through, but if they get to the end of Borat, kind of watching what she did and the situation that she was put in, I think she's going to find a lot of love from there, just from being like, oh, this was a girl who wasn't she's not like a seasoned veteran. It's not like Amy Adams or Viola Davis or someone else up there. This is, you know, practically a new girl who's only done smaller stuff that is sitting in a room with Rudy Giuliani, like stuff like that. So I think if she does win, it would be kind of for that shock factor, watch this, vote for her kind of thing.
Obviously, comedic performances they're just glad to be there, like to be in the room, right? And that's what I think.
I
This
feel
is
the
it.
same way about
Yeah.
Yoon Young Jung as well. I kind of feel like in some aspects, I feel like that's her Oscar. Like Paul Raci, that this is his Oscar, right? You know what I mean? Like
True, except I'm cheering for her because I almost feel like it's going to be a spiritual win for Zhao Zhuzhen, who deserved
Yep.
it, in my opinion,
Yep.
for
Yep.
the farewell.
Yep.
So it's like what she did with Nine, that's kind of like what I'm hoping
This
for
is-
here.
Well, this is what I'm hoping for, and like not to go back and compare, but what I'm hoping for is like if Yoon Jung wins for this, it'll be kind of how I felt when Parasite won Best Picture in the year before Roma lost.
Except for Parasite's a good movie, and Roma is
Well,
not.
we're not going to get
Roma's
into
a good movie. It's just not. Roma is like what No Man Land is to me.
makes
It's
sense.
like I respect Roma for like how beautiful looking it is, the amount of detail put in crafting that film.
Yeah.
It's just not a very interesting film that I can connect to.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Nomadland. I mean,
No, Christian was mad No Man Land didn't have any killing in it. That's
oh, no, that is not
he's really
true.
upset.
This is what
There was no
happened. So I was
twist.
watching it, and
This story's
and
amazing.
I was watching it, and Jake was like, "Oh, he's like, I can't wait for you to watch. He's like, really, really good. Like, he's like hyping me up. You know, I think there's gonna be some kind of like, I don't know. I was waiting for like just something.
He's waiting for John Wick to appear.
I was waiting for some kind of shock value to happen, and then I was like, he's like, did you like it? I'm like, did I miss something? He's like, he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, I guess I was just expecting more. I don't know. I thought there was some kind of eerie vibe to it, but I wasn't sure what it was. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I didn't get anything out of it. Like, I like the movie. It's just not my favorite.
To go away from this for a second, we've got 15 minutes until the songs kind of play out.
Which let me say this, which is complete bullshit that the songs are playing on the pre-show.
I did not know
don't
this.
mind
Wait,
it.
what?
They're
The
starting in
songs?
15 minutes. The show starts, and they're performing all five. Well, they're recorded. They're pre-recorded performances of the original songs that are nominated.
I mean, I'll just watch for Husavik. That's all I really care about.
I get that, but the one thing I do like is they were able to like create their own environment for the songs. So, for instance, Husavik is recording their song in Husavik and getting Husavikians. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say
So
it.
it's not going to be Rachel McAdams and Will Ferrell singing it?
No.
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 didn't
They're
sing
getting
it.
the
blew that.
I watched 20 minutes of the movie and I had to tap out. I was like, oh,
they're
really
getting
terrible.
Will Ferrell
They're
sung his
terrible.
part, but
They're
Rachel
getting the
McAdams
Ferrell's
is
actual
not funny.
They're getting the
Will
actual
Ferrell's
girl
not
who
funny.
did sing it because it was like
Yeah.
it was like a girl who
It's
sung it and then they
Iceland.
mixed in Rachel McAdams
got you.
a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's kind of like what they did
but
with
they heard-
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they're getting like a whole bunch of like local Husavik civilians to kind of come in and do like the backdrop, I'm pretty sure. And they're like building this whole thing.
I've never heard the song. Is it a funny song?
no,
No, very
it's
serious.
very serious.
It's
Why?
it's a very good song. So
I'm so like I tapped out the movie because the movie wasn't funny to me, and I was like, oh damn, I can't stomach another like non-funny Will Ferrell movie, right? So I'm like,
There's
I'll
so
get
many
to
of
it.
them.
Never got around to it, and they're like, oh, but this song is nominated for it. So I'm like, oh, I'm thinking that Husavik is kind of like what the song is in Borat.
No.
So okay, so
Oh.
basically the song from Husavik comes from like in the movie or whatever. If I spoil it for anyone, I'm sorry. It's been on Netflix for a year. Basically, they are singing in the
Jake,
final round.
Hold on, Christian, are you okay with him spoiling it right now? I just want to make sure you're
Oh
okay
my
with everybody.
God. Wow.
Sorry, you can keep going back now.
Basically, they're in the final round of the actual Eurovision Song Contest,
Mhm.
and they're singing a song about because of I don't know how far you got into it, like movie wise, but they come from a small town, not a lot of people, very family oriented kind of town. So they're singing Husavik is a town. That's why it's Husavik, and then in parentheses my hometown. And so they're singing a song like it's pretty much a ballad for the town.
Yeah.
And like about the town. It's honestly, it's a very good song.
Mhm.
And it's really like emotional and kind of ties like the whole movie together towards the end of it. I would recommend listening to the song at least
I would.
because I do think
good.
it's a very good song.
Yeah, because they do a little bit of it in Icelandic because that's,
Mhm.
but it's powerful. Like it was good.
Yeah,
Like, I was actually blown away.
It's not like the Borat song or
No.
or like when South Park
Ding
got a
Dong.
song nomination or
Yeah.
something like that. It's not like a comedic song. It's a real song. I think it actually has a a fairly good chance to win just based on popularity wise. It's probably the most popular, like the most like pop ready, radio ready type of song. I could see Husavik playing on the radio tomorrow.
I can speak now. Could play
I've
on
listened
every
to it a
radio
lot.
station across the country.
Well,
so
of course, but I'm saying like the one that would be
that's
like
actually a good song.
Billboard #1 top 100. I think Husavik just kind of has that grand.
It has traction.
Yeah,
Of course it does. It's a bad Netflix comedy that's not very
mean, like,
good.
I
So
don't
it's
like
just
Will
like
Ferrell
just
all
like
that
every
much.
other Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that is true. But like, I mean, I don't even like Colby. I don't even like Will Ferrell that much anymore. But like, for some reason, I just kind of like that movie. Like, yeah, it was silly at times, but it was the same content. The songs that were actually pretty good. Like, it
had a lot more heart than usual. Like Will Ferrell movies. It actually once you started getting into it. I mean, there's an actual scene like in the middle where Rachel McAdams like breaks down and starts crying, which I thought was like really powerful. But I think it's very different than what it's not a normal type of Will. It's still a comedy. It's still Will Ferrell comedy. It's still, his brand of humor. But I think it's a lot more there's a lot more heart added into it than what usually is in a Will Ferrell movie, which is what I really appreciated from it.
There's definitely something there, like that you can actually take out, which is what I really appreciated.
Yeah, it's still terrible. No matter how you look at it. I'm sorry. I know you guys built it up for like 3 or 4 minutes for Colby, but I'll reel Colby back in with saying everything you just mentioned. That's probably like you just saw the whole entire movie.
At least the song.
No need to revisit or anything. So
don't have to revisit.
Yeah, just
don't have to
listen to
revisit the movie. The song is pretty good.
It's all right. All right. So we got about 10 minutes or so, maybe about 5 or 6 before we go. Obviously, everybody that's watching now, we will be going live post Oscars. Soon as Best Picture is announced, we will be going live. Kobe, if you're free, you can join us. It's up to you. I'll leave the door open for you, but I want a upset prediction from each of you, and I'm going to let Christian
Just
go
one?
first.
Just like
Just
as
one.
in what do you mean by upset? Like
the person that is not projected to win does not win.
Okay, so I would actually be very, very upset if
no, if you would be upset. If it would be an upset.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I misheard him. Well, I wasn't sure if it was for me or.
It wouldn't be if you were upset. It would be like the quote unquote upset pick of the night.
Oh, it would definitely be it would be, oh my gosh, Trial of Chicago 7 winning Best Picture.
Okay.
So, but is that an upset? Because I
apparently it is. I think it's gonna win.
I thought it was closer to 50-50.
I think it's probably more like 60-40 in my eyes. I do think if Trial pulls out screenplay, that it will get probably a lot more 50-50 because I do think a lot of people are thinking Sound of Metal. You got to think there's like 100,000.
What?
Oh, in editing. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
There's like 100,000 like voters or some shit like that, and you got to think most of them are just going to watch and see fast cuts and see editing like that. Most editing equals best editing for them. So I think Trial's got editing locked up, but winning screenplay and editing, I mean, that's massive if you want to win Best Picture, especially when Nomadland's not even favored to win screenplay anymore.
I'm surprised it's nominated, but okay.
Yeah, no, I
agree, Kobe. I agree.
I think it's because it's adapting like that kind of story rather than adapting like a book or.
But then again,
like
Borat
apparently Borat
so.
because
anything could have got screenplay. Borat got screenplay.
Borat has been Sacha Baron Cohen has been very open about it. He's got nominated because half of the writing industry wrote on the film. He's
it's
very open.
From the first.
There's like 15 nominated writers on the film.
Yeah, Kobe.
Yeah.
Give me an upset, my man.
Man, like I want to give you a good upset. Like one that stands a chance, like really being a legit upset that are like, oh man, what's a good one? Fincher for director.
Oh my god!
You know what? Yours will go. Yours will go right in with mine. I think if we're going to see an upset, I think Mank could upset in cinematography, And I feel like if we do see a Mank upset in cinematography, getting cinematography and production design, those are like, in my eyes, those are two massive directors type of decisions. Yeah. What's there and how it looks. And I feel like if we get both of those, it would be hard in my eyes. I think when I put it on Twitter the other day, there's only been 2 times ever, and they were both in like the 1930s, that a film ever won Best Picture and Director only. And so I think it would be very hard for Nomadland to win just Director and Picture, no matter how, set in stone it is. So I think if Mank happens to upset in cinematography, because right now I just have Nomadland for cinematography, Director, Picture. Yeah. I think if Mank upsets in cinematography, I think we could see potentially a David Fincher win in Director, just out of nowhere.
Boy, that would send Twitter in a.
Twitter's already pissed about Falcon and Winter Soldier. So.
Twitter is perpetually pissed about everything.
Yep. That is very true.
We could transition to Winter Soldier about how it's just a very.
It was very mid. Like there was like 3 episodes.
People who say it's actually better than WandaVision confuse me.
What?
I prefer it more than WandaVision. I feel like they're like I have them similarly rated, right? Okay. Like I don't do half points. So like on the Colby Told Me scale, they're both 6 out of 10s, but of varying degrees, right? Mm-hmm. I think that both, and quickly, this is some of the best character work in WandaVision and in Falcon and Winter Soldier of the entire MCU. Mm-hmm. Everything else around it is very inconsequential, right? Your show in a superhero movie or show can only be as good as its villain. In both, we don't have great villains. Like we just don't. I'm sorry. I think the entire handling of Phase 4 is a joke, and I don't think it's a joke. Half of existence was exterminated out of the entire universe, and it's treated as if it's something that could just like we're back together. Like I want to explore. Like the best part of Endgame for me was seeing Clint have his family disappear. I would have loved, like, I want the first half of Hawkeye to be him transforming into Ronin and then having to come back from that and mantle to somebody. Because I think that there's so much drama to be mined from there, right? I would have loved to explore a show where I'm seeing Sam Wilson have to readjust to life that was taken from him for 5 years.
Yep. You know, and I hate that they just skipped 6 months into the future and didn't
I need to know, I cannot buy that the world is just as put together as it is. Like, it's so funny that we are 5 years into the future when we have this beautiful round, like this circle that Cap is doing inside of the Met Stadium, and that world, I'm sold on that world. That world still looks like it doesn't have its shit together. That world looks like it has abandoned. Like you see Paul Rudd's Scott Lang running by essentially a forest that San Francisco is, right? Mm-hmm. It looks abandoned, but for some reason inside of this world, where in WandaVision we are several weeks past the blip.
Yeah, right? We kind of see that, and like when Monica Rambeau comes back, you kind of see everyone's in peril.
But that's literally, but that's that day. Like, when people are blip back. But I need to know, like, it seems a little bit too put together, especially in the world that's being presented to me in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where I don't believe it. And if I can't believe
you have the
world,
opening scenes in the banks where they're not getting money back, and then all of a sudden, like 10 minutes later, we completely forgot about that, and we're in. I don't know. I hate it.
It was. Yeah, so
I think that's one of the things.
Plot line.
Yeah.
And the fight scenes were terrible.
I think that's
one of the fight scenes were okay. I mean, it's just I really wish you would have saw more.
You can't sit here and tell me that these men just fought off 5 months of Thanos and all of his fucking guys, and then out of completely left field, Falcon and the Winter Soldier
flag smashers.
Exactly.
Yep. The flag smashers could have been handled so much better, because I think that the whole virus plot line that was missing, because they like delayed it, and like there's a lot of like voiceover.
Yeah.
And like
I know that the pandemic deeply affected the story that they wanted to tell. Right?
Yeah.
And I understand
it was
I mean, it's fine, but still, the bar for this type of storytelling is movie-wise is Captain America and Winter Soldier. So every action set piece and sequence in regards to the fight choreography and stunt work needs to be that. Nothing came close to what I got on the highway scene. The Winter Soldier was never imposing. The only time that the entire show where he was imposing was in the flashback. Maybe he should have never cut his hair. I think that's what the problem is, right?
I low-key miss like old school Mickey. It's like It's like
he was a threat, bro.
Anymore. Now that he's not brainwashed,
and never wants to use a gun. Like the only time he used a gun was in Madripoor.
But like, I feel like they're also riding off the coattails of the Winter Soldier. Like,
but that's why I liked WandaVision a little more is
Oh,
because
I
it
did
actually focused on that kind of grief and that kind of difference
Good.
from whether it be just just Wanda's perspective. It kind of focused really on what she took away from Endgame, which was losing Vision. And so I think
but she needed to be held accountable. Like the only thing that pissed me off at that show is that ultimately she was not held accountable for how the way she victimized an entire town.
Yep.
And I just can't jive with that.
Yeah. Well, I haven't finished WandaVision
Everyone's
yet,
fine.
nor do I really care. Nor do I really care to, but I probably will at some point. I just
Now I'm just looking forward to Loki. Give me another
I'm
month. We
looking
got some
forward to
Loki.
Loki. Yeah.
Loki would be perfect because it's far away from everything that's happening.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't want like Disney, running 2 shows at once, because I honestly feel like the reason why Raya didn't do as well as it did is because it dropped the same day as the WandaVision season finale. I feel but because it was in theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there a
But you gotta
$30
remember
price.
that there's a lot of content dropping. Like some people, like right on the Last Dragon or whatever, goes to a different demographic than what Captain America Winter Soldier does in some aspects. Obviously, there's little kids, but that show is a little, depending on the age of said child. I think you ride the fine line of that. But
it's like
there's
what
so
people
much
are going to flock to
content.
the movie theaters or go watch something for free on Disney Plus and just watch WandaVision.
Well, look
instead
at
of-
Mortal Kombat, look at Godzilla. People are flocking whether it's free or not. So,
That is true.
which I'm happy that people are going to the movie theaters. But
bro, the signs.
It's been
so
crazy.
funny. I was listening to my last podcast. I haven't done my own podcast in almost a year, right? And I was like, everybody was thinking doom and gloom, and I'm like so happy that just in the past few weeks that it's been such the numbers. It's weird. The numbers are good, but they're almost too good. It's like what Mortal
Exactly.
Kombat just reported to do is probably what it could have done if there was no pandemic. And we're talking about less than 50% capacity. We're talking about pretty much there still is no, Regal for the most part, like little pops in places.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's also contending with itself on an available streaming service.
yeah.
Like that is
And Tom and Jerry
wild
did
to me.
pretty well in the theaters.
Yeah,
too.
but the thing about it is what people need to remember, this is not that doesn't make it doesn't make it right, doesn't make it okay, doesn't make it, that's how the model should be moving forward because it shouldn't be. This is an anomaly. People are trying to go to the theaters because they just haven't had an opportunity. Like
people
paid
want
to
to
go
get out of
see
the house.
I would go pay to see Mortal Kombat. Unfortunately, I watched it at home and I almost wanted to kill myself.
But
But,
that's the thing that's
I'm
crazy. You can
know-
spend the same money you're spending on a movie ticket is your 1 month subscription to HBO Max.
Yeah.
I mean, actually it's less than that. I mean,
I
Yeah,
will
it is. And
say
like WB is like it's crazy how WB is winning 2021. Like granted,
yeah, but 2022 goes right back to normal. Though.
Like,
See,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's what I wanted to remind folks. Do not think that this is the caliber of film that you would have got on HBO Max if it wasn't for the pandemic, because you wouldn't be getting none of this shit. Like
no, you would have been getting
you'd
locked
be getting-
down.
Exactly, lockdown. What's the Melissa McCarthy movie? Super Intelligence,
Super
or whatever.
intelligent, yeah.
Like, and that's what you have. That's what you have to
Thunder
understand
Force.
for everything. That's what they have to understand. Well, except for Apple TV, right, and Netflix, is that
Well, yeah.
those caliber of films, like you're getting on, you would not be getting Raya on Disney Plus. You would not be getting Solo,
No.
none of that stuff.
No.
And like the Disney Plus originals, they're not that good, bro. Like they're not. Like, and that's what people have to understand. These streaming services, because you're not pumping out the money to constitute that film and putting on it. You're just math doesn't make sense.
People are gonna watch it either way, so it's
Yeah.
like why try as much as you could. But like even for
man.
Mortal Kombat, like I saw it in theaters first time around, then I saw it on
Hold on,
HBO
time
Max.
out. Let me just say something right now for those that are watching. Lil Rel Howery, I want this damn jacket. So, do you see what he's wearing right now on the red carpet, bro?
I
This-
don't.
I'm
Yo,
looking.
oh my god, he's got this purple velvet. Damn, this shit is clean, bro. Oh, I'm telling you, man. In another life, not in another life, I should have been Lil Rel Howery. Okay, listen. No.
another
Okay,
life.
understand, right? So I auditioned for that for whatchamacallit show. What was it? Oh my gosh, begin the damn show. Tall,
Is it anyway?
black. No, some Carmichael show,
Key and Peele?
the Carmichael show, right?
Oh,
So I auditioned for that
I
part.
just heard tall and black.
No. So I auditioned for that part, right? Got a call back. Didn't get it past the call back because this motherfucker got it. I could have been him. God damn it.
Oh, now I see it. Now I see it. Okay. Yeah.
Man, I could. Oh gosh.
Yeah, that looks nice.
Every time I look at him, like my life, motherfucker. It's all right. It's okay. He's,
Oh, yeah, he
he's a
looks
talented
nice.
man, bro. Really,
Yeah,
really
he
talented
is.
guy. So like,
That trip
I'm
was
That is
fun.
a clean. That is a clean suit. I like that.
This shit is so clean. Oh my god.
Wow.
What
That
was
could have
he
been
in?
me.
What was he in recently that he was really good? Judas.
Bad
He was
Trip.
in Judas, wasn't it?
What is he?
Yeah.
Judas?
Yeah, Judas.
Yeah,
is
he
like,
was in Judas.
like little cameo role, like in there at the end. Like I
Yeah.
think, I can't think.
He's dropped some weight too.
He dropped a good amount of weight. I couldn't. Bad Trip was such a God.
Yep.
I
same.
enjoyed it. It was
Same.
okay.
It's
It was fun for what it was. It was just a live it was a movie episode of Punk'd. I mean, that's what it was.
That's all Quebby was in general. The entire thing, yeah. Whatever. God,
I'm so happy. I'm so happy for these two guys going from 22 Jump Street to this.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh my God, 22.
They killed me in 22.
Their story
It's
is
been
really
a
cool,
long
man.
time.
Yeah, they're cool ass dudes.
Yeah, their story is really cool. I think it's gonna be a really good night, bro. I'm glad that this is happening in person, like not some kind of like stream stuff like that. I mean, folks, for the most part, like, everybody's getting tested, right? Like, if you come in hot, like, you're not getting in, right? Like,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying?
Vaccinated.
So for anybody that's got some shit to say about like, how could they be doing this stuff like that? I'm pretty sure that this production has gone off where like, everybody's being tested every day. If you are, if
You pop, you're out.
An
pop,
entire
I'm
year
sorry,
I think
plan
it's-
the
it's like-
entire thing.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think
and
it's-
if
I think
everybody
it's
is
one of the-
tested negative, that's there should be no reason why they just get it, right? Like, isn't that how the science works? Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
nobody
the
is positive.
vaccine's out there. I got my second shot today, so
Yeah, I haven't got. So I gotta be honest with you. I have not got it yet. But also in the year plus that I've been in Atlanta this whole time, I've never tested positive once. Like, I'm just the way that I move, I'm not getting it, or I'm just my immune system. I won't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
but
survival
like,
of the fittest.
there we go. And
It's the Hunger Games. Welcome to
Hunger
the
Games.
33rd annual Hunger Games.
I am hungry.
Hunger Games 2020.
All right, folks, that's it for now. Enjoy the Oscars. We will be back as soon as they announce Best Picture. We will be back live on YouTube to talk about all the nights happening. I know everybody on this panel will probably be live tweeting of some sort, especially the crazy stuff that happens. Let's go Fincher. Let him win so that the world can come to an end. Let Trial Chicago 7 win Best Picture. Let Anthony Hopkins beat Chadwick Boseman. I just want to watch Twitter burn tonight. So on that note, guys, we'll see you guys later.
Either way.
Hey,